What's good? What's good, my people? Happy Wednesday. It's your boy Norris from Souls of Thought. I'm just here this morning with my little morning rant, but it's actually a positive morning rant. Well, it's positive in my opinion. Um, Here with a morning rant, and I'm currently listening and reading a book called Diplomacy by Henry Kissinger. A great book. For those of you who know me, I'm a big book advocate. I'm all about education. And every book that I listen to, I also get the hard copy just so that I can highlight or do whatever I need to do in the hard copy. But listening is just more feasible for me because I'm always driving or commuting, as they say. So it's easy to put the book on, listen to it, remember the highlight parts, and then go back and kind of go through the book eventually, but with Audible, I'm able to listen more than 1 or 2 times very easily. You can also times the X speed, so you can listen to books a little bit faster, just depending on what's your preference and what's your capacity. Before I get into my little rant this morning, I want you guys to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the new subscribers who have come along. Again, this page shows it's always all about facts. We're putting out facts. We're going to provide information behind it, and hopefully, I can provide some form of solutions as well. Because there's no change without solutions. So, just wanted to talk to you guys. I was actually listening to the book yesterday, and I heard a very, very important part, and it kind of helped me understand why I'm in the thought process or why I'm the way I am. And I'm going to read it to you guys. I actually pulled it up so I can have, exact verbatim. I didn't want to like try to remember it and give you back guys bad information, but it is in, let me see, I can let you know the chapter because uh, like I said, I just started. It's in chapter 2 of Diplomacy. So when you get into chapter 2, it starts talking about Teddy Roosevelt, some other things. With that being said, this quote stood out to me. It says, "A leader who confines his role to his people's experiences dooms his stuff to stagnation. A leader who outstrips his people's experiences runs the risk of not being understood." Let me say that one more time for you. A leader who confines his role to his people's experiences dooms himself to stagnation. A leader who outstrips his people's experience runs the risk of not being understood. And the second part really stood with me because this is what I go through as, if you want to call me a conservative, whatever you want to call me, a Republican, whatever you want to call it. I call myself a free thinker. Um, I like to use common sense. I feel that anytime there's things going on, there's always more to it. It could also be my mental health background, working in mental health for over a decade, just understanding that there's always more layers to peel back. But the second part, it says a leader who outstrips his people's experiences runs the risk of not being understood. And that's what I feel happens a lot in our culture today is that if you are African American who chooses to outstrip your people's experiences, meaning that you're taking out those things, you're taking out the past, you're not focused on the past, you're looking at the future, you're not letting what happened to someone else dictate what happens to you. It causes you to be misunderstood. And I find myself in this boat a lot just because I'm misunderstood on a daily basis. And I feel like people don't understand the message between the message. Just because I want better for myself, just because I want better for my family, just because I want better for my children and my children's children's future, doesn't mean that I don't understand the struggle. It just means that I don't allow the struggle to be what defines who I am and defines what's capable. We are in a world today where there's nothing you can't be. There's nothing you can't do. Does that mean it's gonna be easy? No. But nothing worth having is easy. And it's very unique to me that we will use the past, we will use slavery, we will use systemic racism, we will use gentrification, we will use everything under the sun to justify our failures or the hardships, which those things can be true, but why focus your energy on those things when you have seen people before you succeed? Because what happens is, as it says at the first part, it says a leader who confines his role to his people's experience is doomed himself to stagnation. If I continue to put myself in this pro black slavery, 40 acres and a mule, uh, reparations mindset, I'm going to remain stagnant because I'm going to keep going for the things that I know aren't achievable. Those things aren't achievable. But what I can do is create that reparations for my own future, for my own family. And it's called generational wealth. It's called education. It's called giving people what you didn't have. And see, I didn't have this. People forget that even though I'm 39 years old, when I graduated high school, we were still on what is it? Nokia block phones. The first fancy thing that came out was a flip phone. And then everybody wanted Blackberries because they looked at professional. But there was no huge social media presence back when I was in high school, back in my early Air Force times. This internet and this knowledge that we have at our fingertips today, we did not have back then. With that being said, we have to outstrip the past. That doesn't mean that you don't acknowledge it. That doesn't mean that you don't care about it. It just means today, as Norris Jameson, I choose to move forward. I choose to do what's best for me and my family. I choose to save myself. I choose to be an outlier. That's another great book too, Malcolm Gladwell. That book will really start making you think totally different about why people succeed. And yes, people do need an opportunity. With that being said, I was just listening to the Breakfast Club podcast with Will Packard, and he was saying that he has a chapter, I think it's chapter 20 or in his new book, which I will be listening to next. It's called Everybody Needs One White Guy, or Everybody Needs a White Guy, something like that. But like he said, the person doesn't have to be a white male, doesn't have to be a white guy, but everybody needs that one person who can advocate for them. And that's what we lack today. We are so against each other and so used to division that even if somebody's making facts, even if someone's making common sense, if you don't like it or if you don't like the messenger, we will stay divided. And if that's what you choose to do, that's fine. With that being said, please keep as far away from people because people today need to know solutions. They need to know where to go get the information and they need to know how to obtain that information because there's too much information out there today for us to remain stagnant. We must be okay with risking being misunderstood. And I'm letting you guys know that today that I'm okay with being misunderstood. I'm okay with not being liked by everyone that looks like me. What's important to me is that knowing that when my time is up on this earth, I did everything I could to better myself, my family, anybody who calls themselves my friend. I want to do better in those portions of my life. So, again, this is my morning rant. I'm going to read this quote for you guys one more time from chapter 2 of Diplomacy by Henry Kissinger. And it states, a leader who confines his role to his people's experiences dooms himself to stagnation. A leader who outstrips his people's experience runs a risk of not being understood. And I'm letting you guys know today that it's okay to be misunderstood by those who will never understand. As I tell everybody, God loves you, which is most importantly, I love you, you're beautiful, and your boy's out. Let go.
Life get complicated when you count this paper. Yeah, girl, I wanna see you, but I'll see you later. Yeah, there's too much going on, girl, just do me a favor. Yeah, girl, I know you love me, but you know I can't date you. Yeah, you know I'm a rich, I ain't got no neighbors. Look, I get mans, yeah, you haters. They love with all my whips, cause they feel so spacious. Yeah, when you come around, girl, you'll never feel basic. Yeah.
Baby, you don't want I drip you fashion the latest. I'm gonna take her for your bag and I adore your little fragrance. You can't rush it, it's a process, it's gonna take a little patience. But when we get there, babe, I promise no more mini vacations. In these streets, we gotta be cautious, all these risks we be taking.